I'm Allison Denise, your creative accountant and creator of the Facebook group Purposeful, Paid, and Pretty, where we share tips, information, and affirmations on how to keep your coins in check and your brands beautiful. Today, we're going to take a little lesson in Canva, and we're going to talk about using the guidelines. So let's get started. I'm just going to pick a 8.5 by 11 size sheet here. And while that's loading, I know that I want to create a sheet that has 4 cutout images in it. So I want to be able to divide my sheet into 4 sections. I'm going to create one quotable that I will copy into 4 different sections. In order to do that, I'm going to create some guidelines for myself by using lines here. So let me go over here to Elements, and I'm going to select Lines. And you can pick any line that you like, and I'm going to make it red because it's kind of like, a stop line. You don't want to design past those lines. And let me zoom in here a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is pull this over using this little circle. Pull it over to the edge of the canvas, right? Okay, so the little line appeared to tell me that I'm at the edge of the paper. So I'm going to stop right here and let it go. And I'm going to do the same thing on the next side. All right, completely centered. It's touching both edges, okay? So this is already in the center of the page. All right, so now I'm going to flip it and do the exact same thing vertically. And so first I want to make a copy. Okay, and then with this copy, I'm going to take the little rotate node here and I'm going to hold it down and I'm going to spin this thing until it is a straight line up and down like that. Okay, and so what I want to do now is I'm going to zoom in again, and I'm going to make sure that this touches the edge of the top right there, and I'm going to make sure that it's touching the edge of the bottom right here. Let's zoom out and see what that looks like. All right, so I have now divided my page into 4 equal sections. So now I can come in here and create my quotables or whatever it is that I want it to be separated into 4 sections. So let's say I wanted to, let me just create a graphic really quickly. So I'm going to use one of my uploaded photos. So let's say I want to use this graphic here, this uploaded image that I have. I'm gonna put this in here and I want to show only a portion of it, and I'm going to crop it so that I'm only dealing with the same portion of the image every time I use it on this project that we're working on. So we're just moving the little edges, and you see how this is kind of grayed out or whited out. That's not going to be included after I click this check mark. So this is what I'm going to see. So I can include that, or I can move it over a little bit like this. Depends on what portion of the image I want shown here. I think I'm going to do it right here in the center. And now I'm going to hit the check mark, and my image is cropped to where I see what I want to see for this little graphic I'm creating here. So next, I want to put like an overlay on this. So I'm going to go over here to Elements and pull out a square, which I will resize to fit my section. by moving the little circles. And I'm going to make it blue, and then I'm going to give it some transparency so that we can see the image behind it, just like that, right? And so next I want to add like a little quotation symbol. So I'm going to go into the search box and type quotation, and then I'm going to hit enter. And you see we get different options here on different quotation marks that we can use. I particularly like this one, so I'm going to click this one here. And it's here on my image now. And I want to make it white. I'm going to bring it up to the top of the image. All right. So now I want to add some text. And let's say I want this to be this font. Gonna make it about size 21. Gonna bring it up into my area here. And I'm going to include a little quote here. So I'm going to say something like, learning is an ongoing objective. So I already know that I want to make this white. And I already know that I want to make it larger so that it stands out more. So let's see what 42 looks like. I like the size of that. I'm going to see what this looks like if I make it all caps. I'm just going to change it over here to uppercase. All right, I like it in all caps, but now I need to adjust the size of it so that it's not bleeding into the next section. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Let's try 36. Okay, that's good. And then the last thing I'm going to do is come down here and put my name or my website or whatever it is you think would be good for people to see, to know who said this and where it came from. So it's a little too large, so I'm going to go ahead and make it about, let's say 28. All right. Okay, so now we've created this little quotable, right? And if I want to copy this to the other sections, I can select all of this and copy it. So let's do that. So I'm going to select it by holding and dragging, making sure that my cursor touches all of the elements that I want copied and none of the elements that I don't. So I do not want it to select the red lines. So I'm not going to touch those. I do want it to select all of this. And you see everything is selected now. Let me zoom in for you. Everything is selected. You can see the little lines going around all of the different elements. And so now what I'm going to do is copy. And now I have a copy. So I'm just going to quickly go through and create 4 more sections so that you can see what the end result will look like. So I'm just going to copy this information so I can use it over here to quickly create similar quotables. Now, notice, if you will, the little guidelines that pop up when you move things around. Canva will help you know when your information is lined up just right with vertical and horizontal guidelines. Tells you when you're in the center of a section and when things are lined up with the other items around it. Right? That way everything stays uniform across sections. All right, so I'm going to move this image over just a smidge and the overlay. So pretty much that is what we were trying to accomplish. We wanted to have 4 sections. Obviously, you would change your wording out as needed for each section. I'm going to adjust this here. Okay, being a little bit of a neat freak here. Let me zoom out. This needs to come up a little bit. All right. So you see that now. When we are ready to print this or save it, we could leave the guidelines here for cutting purposes, or we can remove them by hitting delete. And so now you have this cute little 8.5 by 11 page that is divided into 4 equal sections, which if you take it to a place like Kinko's or Staples or something where they have cutting machines, they can easily cut these into identical sizes for you. All right. If you wanted to leave the lines, you could. If you wanted the lines to be smaller, obviously it would just be a matter of you choosing a different line type here over in Elements. If you maybe could have chosen this line, which is really thin. It's really a matter of choice. But at least you see how to put it together so you can get 4 individual sections on one 8.5 by 11 page. And I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please do let me know. My email is allison@I'mAllisonDenise.com. You can find me in my Facebook group, Purposeful, Paid, and Pretty, or you can find me on my website, www.I'mAllisonDenise.com. Remember, in everything you do, always be you on purpose. Ciao for now.